You have to start thinking about who am I? How do I move around in this world? And the differences between your personal brand and your business brand. Oftentimes, a personal brand, once you F up, you're kind of done. People are walking out with multi-$1,000 purchases on the regular. And here's a big difference between the Apple experience and the Microsoft experience. I want to talk about a little bit of the importance of building your brand, your personal brand. I want to show you why, or kind of hopefully not convince you, but give you some tools to why having a personal brand is important in the attention economy, which seems to be the economy that we're living in right now. Part of the clue in terms of, do you have a brand? Do people have a preference for your product or service over someone else's product or service? And I want you to think about that, because we live in a highly overly communicated world and we have an abundance of choice. Really what is happening now is there's an emotional connection, because as we make more money and we have more choice, the things that influence our decisions are wildly different for each and every one of you. Some of you want to have a clear business outcome when you buy something. Some of you want to feel like you belong. So it's less about buying, it's who you become in the process and the vote that you have with your money. So we want to support people and companies and ideas that support who we are and how we see ourselves. So it becomes a really big part about your own identity. Here's what I notice, Izzy. And I go to Apple stores, I would say like once every 2.5 weeks. Most of the times I do not buy anything. I go there to watch people. I go there just to put my hand on a device. I'm like, maybe I need this, maybe I don't know. I've never been sold anything ever at an Apple store, which is such an unusual experience. People say, hi, do you need help? Do you need help? That's all they ask, and they don't even bother you. Here's what I noticed about Apple employees. They look different. They look like the people from the neighborhood. They look like they were hired from a United Colors of Benetton ad campaign. People have froze. People have spots in their faces. People are albino. They're all over the place. And they don't have a very specific style or look. And Apple had a rather brilliant concept. They called it the genius. And it used to be for the genius behind the bar. And now everyone is an Apple genius. Everyone can help you. And here's a big difference between the Apple experience and the Microsoft experience, because I've been at both. I don't hate Microsoft. I just don't prefer them. I just don't hate them. I wanted to buy something for my Xbox. I wanted to buy a new controller, rechargeable controller. I stood in line. I was like fourth in the queue and they were moving so slowly. I was looking around the store. There's nobody in here, but they got one person to ring you up. What's the difference between Apple and a Microsoft store? Everybody practically inside the Apple store can ring you up, and the registers in their pocket, they use an iPhone, and you get in, you can get out. And you know the volume of business that they're doing compared to Microsoft, who can't handle 4 customers. People are walking out with multi-$1,000 purchases on the regular. That's how they can make so much money per square foot. So culturally, they're different. They're all shapes and sizes. Some are tall, some are skinny, some are a little short, some are fat, some are dark, some are light. They look like people from the community. The reason why I bring this into sharp focus for all of you is because you have to start thinking about, who am I? How do I move around in this world? What are the conscious and unconscious decisions I'm making about how I interact with my clients online, in person, and over Zoom, to be hyper aware of that kind of stuff. And so I want you to start thinking about how you show up online and the differences between your personal brand and your business brand. Most business brands are scaled back. Their personality is tampered down a little bit. It's because it's collective and it's a lot of touch points. A personal brand is one touch point. It's you. A business brand has a logo. You have a name, and your name is a powerful part, the most powerful part. And you have a face. A business has a place, and whatever other things you do to adorn your face and your body. Tattoos, earrings, glasses, jewelry, cap, hairstyle, hair color, they all say something about you and the choices that you make. You know, as much as I admire and respect Steve Jobs while he was alive, his fashion sense is terrible. The guy wore ill-fitting mom jeans. You know, every time he walked on stage, I snickered a little bit. But who am I? He's a revolutionary, a maverick, changing industries. He got no time to like wear proper jeans. Now, a business brand can be rehabilitated. Oftentimes a personal brand, once you F up, you're kind of done. You know, these scammers, I'm not getting political here, everybody. I'm just talking about people on the internet scamming people. So it's kind of important for you to know who you are, have high degrees of self-awareness, and act consistently with your worldview. Now, you would say, like, what's the most difficult thing about acting consistent with yourself? You would say nothing, Chris. It's very easy. You just be yourself, right? Then let me ask you this question. How many people can you spot from a mile away that aren't being themselves? They're fronting. I'm more successful than I am. I'm better looking than I am. My life is more together than the way it is. And then we're shocked to discover they're getting a divorce. Like, I thought you had the picture perfect marriage. You know, here's how it goes. It's perfect until you find out. So here's the thing. Now we can spot it. The question is, the much harder question is, how many of you are guilty of it? You can be forgiven if you have low self-awareness. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know who I am, so I just show up the way, whatever. But if you know and you deliberately hide, that's creating a gap between you and the audience, the community, and the clients that you hope to connect with.